school of thought that thinks that a lot of the requirements put in by the administration during the Great Depression also added to the uncertainty of the environment during that period of time. And that's what I keep hearkening back to you on, because that's what I'm hearing people say. Now, I don't have a poll number to base that on. I don't have something else, but that you create that uncertainty out there. That's why I've been harping at you on cap and trade at this point in time. Why you would push for something like that. That's one of the other lessons. Now, I would appreciate your thoughts about when you read economists write about that point within the Great Depression. You must not think that was a particular problem during that era.
I feel very strongly that the main thing that went on in the Great Depression was a collapse in aggregate demand, and that is what caused the high unemployment. And the arguments that the regulatory regime was important, I think, are greatly overblown and actually not a very big part of the story at all. Let me come back. I mean, the issues of uncertainty, you act as though not dealing with climate change and with our dependence on foreign oil somehow resolves uncertainty. And in fact, those are problems that we have to face. And in many times, by dealing with the problems, you actually resolve the uncertainty. And I'll give the example of our car rule, right? There was a lot of question about how are we going to enforce emission standards, California doing one thing. And it was actually industry that said, can you just come together? We're happy to have a rule, but we need the certainty of that rule. And after we passed it, what you found is the truck manufacturers came and said, we want one of those too, right? So that oftentimes getting the legislation, getting things, you know, actually setting down the rules of the road can help to resolve uncertainty. And that's the same with a comprehensive energy plan. We know we're going to have to deal with this.
If you put cap and trade in, you're going to get a big fight here. You're going to get a big fight in the country anyway, and you're not going to get the investment that you could get in renewables on an easy basis if you don't put cap and trade in. I'll give you an easy one. Why don't you raise the ethanol limit up to E15 instead of 10% ethanol? Domestic produced, looks like it works pretty well. You open up to a renewable industry, you get bipartisan support for it. Why not pick those pieces like that you can look at and you can say, yeah, now we could do something like that.
No, but what the President has described is one of the ways, again, let me come back to by...
You're not going to go with 15% ethanol and the...
We're always happy to discuss things, and I'm sure Secretary Vilsack would be delighted to talk to you as well about...
I'd like for you to look at it.
We will certainly do that. But I do think the pointing out what everyone knows, which is that we are on, again, it's like the budget deficit, an unsustainable path in terms of our foreign consumption, our consumption of foreign oil, in terms of emissions. We're going to need to deal with it. By dealing with it, we actually get certainty. By putting a price on carbon, then people know how to make their investment. That can actually be very good for investment because people know what they need to do. And it's in fact, you know, if you're worried about uncertainty, actually dealing with this problem that is not going to go away can very much help.